Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning into KMP, the best news channel in history. Today's segment is going to be a bit different. We'll be talking about the history of the late, great American father of education, who is otherwise known as John Dewey. First, to begin, we will show you guys a clip of a few college students who we interviewed and asked, who is John Dewey?
Oh, excuse me?
Yeah.
Who is John Dewey?
John who?
Excuse me, madam? Who is John Dewey?
I have no idea who John Dewey is.
Okay, thank you very much.
Who is John Dewey?
John Dewey? He's our neighbor. He never cut his grass. I hate that guy.
So that went well. So now we're going to Khiana with weather and traffic. She will also be talking about John Dewey's biography.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning into Weather and Traffic with Khiana. So as you guys can see, we have a live video sent in to us from a viewer named @Sheridan Smith. Thank you. She follows us on Twitter. This was recorded on her dash cam where she is currently on the 401. Traffic is moving steady. However, as you approach the 427 from the 401 ramp, there is a bit of construction and you might experience delay and a bit of congestion. I recommend taking a different route or leaving about 10-15 minutes early. As you can see in this next video, the 427 is moving steady and there are no worries once you get on and past that construction area. You guys can see it's raining over here at the waterfront campus. It's predicted that today's weather will be about 12 degrees with isolated showers. Who was John Dewey? John Dewey was born October 20th, 1859 in Burlington, Vermont. He graduated from the University of Vermont in 1875 with a bachelor's degree in philosophy. After receiving a doctorate in philosophy from Johns Hopkins University in 1884, he began teaching philosophy and psychology at the University of Michigan. In total, Dewey taught for a total of 46 years and retired in 1930. Unfortunately, Dewey passed away in 1952 at the age of 92. His cause of death was said to be pneumonia. During his career, Dewey managed to open the very first experimental elementary school, and he also published 1,000 writings during his lifetime. Later on, his interests changed to child psychology, which motivated him to develop a philosophy of education that would meet the needs of children and change society.
Dove invited friends to play a guessing game. Asking one woman to wash half her face with soap, the other Dove. Can you touch and tell the difference between the two?
It feels dry and a little bit rough.
And this side?
It feels smoother and softer. That's the Dove side.
You're right, it is the Dove side.
Dove is different, with 1/4 moisturizing cream for softer, smoother skin.
Your skin looks beautiful.
For smoother, more glowing skin, it must be Dove.
So KPM is recording at George Brown College where they're offering free salsa lessons, and if anyone is still interested, it ends at 3 p.m. today. So John Dewey was known as the founder of a philosophical movement called pragmatism. Pragmatism took place in the late 19th century and early 20th century. It was a movement that considered real effects to be a major component of both meaning and truth. It was a movement that took more of a naturalistic approach to knowledge that centered on the fact that knowledge arose from the human adapting to its environment. Dewey himself believed that thought existed apart from the world. All in all, he believed that knowledge was gained through interaction in the classroom and society. Now we're taking it over to Peace, who was talking about how John Dewey is different from others.
Okay, let's try this online snacking thing again. Oh, rough around the edges. Ugh, grease ball. Oh, Dan and Oiko.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's that time of year again. They're going back! It's back to school time at Staples! Over 7,000 supplies at guaranteed low prices.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Staples. That was easy.
About this. Unlike most people, Dewey believes in curriculum called interdisciplinary, which connects several subjects that help children develop their own way of learning. For example, math and cooking were combined to learn measuring proportion, He also promoted progressive education and education in which students learn by interaction and experience. Children were taught what history was by engaging in activities and allowing them to learn how people lived. Unlike many, he believed the naturalistic approach and placed the emphasis of learning on the children and their interests.
The rocket has landed. Explosive lash volume goes smooth and even. Maybelline New York launches the Rocket Mascara. Blast off with explosive volume.
The rocket science.
The jumbo volume brush deposits massive load.
8 times the volume.
The latex-like formula glides on smooth, even, sleek to the tip.
No chunks, no clumps.
Discover explosive volume that's smooth and even.
Explosive.
New The Rocket.
School and Society was John Dewey's first published work of length on education. He proposes a psychological, social, and political framework for progressive education. He also argues that the progressive approach is a natural fit with the psychology of children, and the final chapters explain some of the experiments he did at the University of Chicago. The Child in the Curriculum is where John Dewey examines children and describes how they learn. He states that teachers should learn different teaching methods to resolve their issues. In the book How We Think, John Dewey argues that thinking is a natural automated act, just like breathing. He also argues that the act of thinking equals the act of believing, that in effect when we think something, we actually believe it. So, therefore, it is impossible to teach someone to think. In the book Democracy in Education, John Dewey states the ideas in a democratic society and applies these ideas to the problems of education. The philosophy stated in this book connects the growth of democracy with the development of the experimental method in the sciences. The book Experience in Education is a book written by John Dewey where it emphasizes experience, experiment, and other concepts of progressive education. He argues that social and interactive processes are important aspects of learning.
So do you guys think John Dewey's contribution is still relevant today?
Well, even though John Dewey is not alive anymore, his ideas are. And it was a bit unusual that John Dewey was a high school teacher because most people who have changed education don't normally work in the field.
Well, and I think his contribution then contradicts education now. So his books and ideas presented many people with a new look and allowed classrooms to participate in more group and hands-on activities.
Well, to me, I actually think his contribution is still relevant today because at that time he believed in having activities, students engaging in activities. But right now we still do it because individual classes, we still do hands-on and different activities to get the children motivated and yeah,
makes sense.
The world is moving at a tremendous rate. No one knows where. We must prepare our children not for the world of the past, not for our world, but for their world, the world of the future.
Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning into KMP, the best news channel in history. Today's segment is going to be a bit different. We will be
So unfortunately, John Dewey passed away in 1952 at the age of pneumonia. His cause of death was said to be... John Dewey. John Dewey was...
Am I saying his main contribution?
Quite some weather we're having today at the waterfront campus. As you guys can see, it's raining. We have about... Okay.
All in all, he believed that knowledge is gained through.
Okay. Having some, isolation.
Isolation.
Okay.